yesterday, published on the New York Times website. It's in the paper today, I believe. A great story about all these Democratic donors who are being hit up by Democratic strategists for millions of dollars to try to create a system that will yield Democratic left podcasters and other content creators to try to catch up with Joe Rogan, etc. And there's one person quoted in the story saying, well, this has to happen organically too, but let's throw tens of millions of dollars after it. So, Larry,
yes,
are these consultants who are trying to, I'll use a loaded word here, fleece these millionaires out of their money? Do they have a leg to stand on? In other words, is there a way to spend millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars to create the next Joe Rogan of the left, or is that a fool's errand?
It will be as successful as Air America was.
That's exactly what I said yesterday. Air America Redux.
That reminds me exactly of that.
Tell people who don't know what Air America is, Larry.
Well, with the rise of conservative talk radio in the 90s, Rush Limbaugh leading the way, but of course so many other shows, including Sean Hannity and Glenn Beck and Mark Levin, etc., the left realized, oh my gosh, there's one part of media that we don't have a stronghold on, so we need to create our own competitive, liberal, left-wing, Democrat-centered talk radio. And they got a lot of money together, quite a lot of money, to put together a network called Air America. Their big star was a former comedian and not yet Senator Al Franken. And it ended up failing. The one bright shining spot out of that, other than Al Franken using it as a platform for his Senate run, was a then unknown young lady named Rachel Maddow, who actually got her start on Air America. And that was quite a success. It was a success for her. I don't think it was a success for Air America. They ended up losing tons.
But doesn't that suggest that are mocking this as a fool's errand might not be right? In other words, they created the farm system, and that yielded Rachel Maddow.
Go ahead, Dan.
Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, look, the problem is you're talking about political consultants writing business plans. Right. Air America could not grow an audience, right? And the donors, after a while, who are smart people who made their money, most of them in business, some of them inherited it. The Democracy Alliance is the group that funded that. It's not that easy. If all it required was a little bit of cash to create the next Joe Rogan, given how much money Joe Rogan is making, the number of investors and private equity firms and everyone that would be out there doing this like that, the MSNBC, CNN, the number of entities trying to figure out, how do we grow our audience in this environment right now, right? Yeah. They can't all be two-way growing like a rocket ship. They're struggling, right? So I think the party is right. We have a problem. But it is not that, unless the donors are going to say, we are willing to take losses upwards of, tens of millions of dollars annually for the next 20 years. And we're going to fund this like we fund think tanks, not trying to make any money. I mean, I'd love to meet the donors who are willing to do that. You're talking about not throwing away, but losing to the tune of probably a few $1 billion over the next decade.
Yeah.
And, all right, even still, real fast, they had a liberal Democrat, Joe Rogan. His name was Joe Rogan. The problem is that their policies went so far over that they lost Joe Rogan, and you can't create this in a petri dish. It's not you couldn't make a Ben Shapiro. You can't make a Charlie Kirk, and if that's what their plan is, it's going to fail.
Yeah, that was a delicious video experience. I think you'll agree. Now, what you need to do in return for getting to enjoy that is hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss a thing.